Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Every sight you have ever seen, every voice you have ever heard, every pain, every triumph, every dream, all of it is stored here, inside your mind. It is not merely a library of memories. It is a throne room, a command center, the place from which every victory and every defeat begins. And yet, my friends, here is the question most never dare to ask: who sits upon that throne? Is it you, or is it fear, that quiet tyrant that chains your ambition before it can take its first step? Is it doubt, the shadow that turns opportunities into impossibilities? Is it the voices of those who told you, you cannot, you should not, you will not? Think deeply about this. If another person were seated upon your throne, deciding which dreams you were allowed to dream, which actions you were allowed to take, and which limits you would be forced to obey, would you tolerate it? Would you sit idly by while they dictated the course of your life? Yet many do. They do not realize that every time they accept fear without question, every time they agree with doubt, every time they allow the criticism of others to outweigh the vision within their own hearts, they are, in fact, handing over the crown. Understand this truth. Your mind is the only kingdom you will ever truly rule. If you lose it, you lose everything. But if you master it, if you take back the crown and guard it with unshakable will, the world itself will bend to the power of your command. The search for the law. My friends, I have spent more than a quarter of a century in search of the laws that govern success. I have sat with presidents and walked with paupers. I have conversed with men who commanded great industries and with those whose only possession was the strength of their own two hands. I studied them, I questioned them, I lived among them, and in every case I found the same truth. Before a man can master his circumstances, he must first master his mind. The mind is both architect and builder. It is both general and soldier. It will plan for you the palace of your dreams, or it will construct for you the prison of your fears. But it will not sit idle. Even now, as you hear my voice, it is working, either for you or against you. Principle 1, the definite major purpose. The first law is this: you must have a definite major purpose. A mind without a clear purpose is like a ship without a rudder. It drifts, it wanders, it is driven by every current and tossed by every wind. It becomes the plaything of chance, a victim of the random tides of life. But a mind fixed upon a single consuming aim gathers its powers, its thoughts, its very life force, and drives them in one direction until it arrives at its destination. Think of the sunlight scattered across the earth. It warms, it nourishes, it gives life. But gather it through a magnifying glass upon a single point, and it will burn through steel. Such is the difference between a wandering mind and a mind fixed upon a definite purpose. If you would control your mind, you must first give it a master to serve. That master is your definite major purpose. Now let me ask you, have you chosen yours? Is it written down? Can you describe it in one sentence without hesitation? Do you wake with it in your mind and carry it with you to bed at night? For until you do, your mind will drift. It will follow the path of least resistance, like a river flowing toward the lowest ground. To choose your purpose is to raise the ground before you, to redirect the current, to tell your mind, this is the course, this is the direction, this is the destination. Write it, refine it, memorize it, wake with it, sleep with it. Let it stand guard at the door of every decision you make. And remember, a purpose too small will fail to command your mind's full loyalty. Choose a purpose so great, so compelling, so alive within you that it draws you forward when every comfort urges you to stay still. Principle 2, guarding the gates of the mind. But purpose alone is not enough. A king may sit upon his throne, yet if the gates of his city are left unguarded, the enemy will march in and take everything. So it is with your mind. And who are these enemies? They do not march with banners and beating drums. They come quietly, as a casual remark from a friend, as a headline designed to provoke fear, as a whisper from your own past failures. Fear, doubt, limitation, the sneer of the cynic, the small-minded counsel of those who have never dared. They arrive clothed in reason, disguised as caution, wrapped in the language of realism. But strip away their garments, and you will find the same thing every time. A thief. Mark this well. Fear will steal your ambition. Doubt will sap your courage. Limitation will choke your vision before it can grow. Therefore, post a guard at the gates of your mind. Let every thought be challenged with this question: will you serve my purpose, or will you betray it? Do not allow gossip to enter, for gossip spreads the poison of contempt. Do not allow envy to enter, for envy blinds you to your own opportunities. Do not allow the endless noise of the world to drown the still, clear voice of your own vision. Your mind is a fortress. Treat it as such. No army would leave its gates open in time of war. And my friends, make no mistake, you are at war. Not with the world outside, but with the forces that seek to take your mind from you. Principle 3, the weapon of autosuggestion. My friends, once you have barred the gates of your mind against the enemies of fear, doubt, and limitation, you must then determine what thoughts shall be invited in. It is not enough to keep the invader out. You must fill the empty halls of your mind with loyal allies. And there is one great instrument by which this can be done. I call it autosuggestion. Now, what is autosuggestion? It is the medium through which you may speak directly to the workshop of your subconscious mind. It is the method by which you plant with your own hand the seeds that will one day become the reality of your life. Understand this well. Your subconscious mind will accept any thought, whether constructive or destructive, whether born of faith or of fear, if you will only repeat that thought often enough and with sufficient feeling. Herein lies both the danger and the opportunity. If day after day you repeat to yourself words of weakness, I cannot, I am not ready, I am not worthy, your subconscious will accept these as instructions. It will set about building for you a life that matches those words. But if you fill your mind morning and night with affirmations of your definite major purpose, if you speak them aloud with conviction, if you see in the theater of your imagination yourself already in possession of your desire, then your subconscious will take these commands. And it will work tirelessly night and day to bring them into form. I say to you, write down your definite major purpose. Place it where your eyes will fall upon it when you rise in the morning, and again before you retire at night. Read it aloud. Speak it as though you were issuing an order to a trusted servant. For indeed that is what your subconscious mind is. A servant that never sleeps, never questions, and never disobeys the orders it receives repeatedly. Do this, and you will discover something extraordinary. Ideas will come to you unbidden. Opportunities will appear, seemingly from nowhere. And you will take action, not as a man who hopes, but as a man who knows. This is no trick, no cheap magic. It is simply the deliberate feeding of your mind with the food of your own choosing. If you do not choose that food, the world will choose it for you. And the world, my friends, has a habit of serving fear. Principle 4, mastering the emotions. But even when your mind is fed with the finest thoughts, there remains a force which, if uncontrolled, can turn your best plans into your worst defeats. That force is emotion. Your emotions are the winds that fill the sails of your thoughts. If they blow in the direction of your purpose, you will advance with speed and power. If they blow against you, you will be driven off course and sometimes into the rocks. Anger, fear, unbridled excitement. These are the tempests that have wrecked the ships of countless men, many within sight of their harbor. I have known men of great intelligence, men of sound plans and noble aims, who in a single moment of uncontrolled temper lost fortunes it had taken them years to build. I have also known others of modest ability, who by mastering their emotions achieved triumphs far beyond their apparent strength. Mark this well. The calm mind is the mind that sees clearly. The calm mind is the mind that acts with precision. The calm mind is the mind that wins. Now, I do not say to you, feel nothing. Emotion is not your enemy. It is your servant, but it must be disciplined. Direct your emotions toward your purpose. Let desire be the fire that warms you through long nights of labor. Let faith be the wind that carries you over obstacles. But never allow anger, fear, or uncontrolled excitement to seize the helm. When the storm comes, and it will, be as the captain who stands steady at the wheel. The waves may rise, the wind may howl, but your course remains unchanged. Practice this daily. Begin with small matters. In moments of tension, pause before you speak. Ask yourself, will this serve my purpose or will it betray it? Do this until it becomes second nature, and you will find that your greatest victories are often won, not by those who shout the loudest, but by those who remain silent, steady, and in control. Principle 5. The Mastermind Alliance. My friends, no man, no matter how great his intelligence, no matter how strong his will, has ever risen to his greatest height alone. You may for a season walk the road in solitude. You may for a time bear the weight of your vision without the help of others. But mark my words, the day will come when you will require the counsel, the encouragement, and the combined faith of other minds in harmony with your own. This is the law of the mastermind. It is a law as real as gravity. It says that when two or more minds are joined together in perfect harmony for a definite purpose, they create between them a third mind, invisible to the eye, yet greater in power than either alone. This third mind, this unseen force, becomes the source of ideas, of inspiration, and of courage when your own courage falters. Andrew Carnegie, whose fortune was built not by his own labor alone, but by the combined genius of men he gathered around him, confessed to me that the mastermind principle was the very foundation of his success. And I say to you, choose your mastermind with care. Select men and women of integrity, of courage, of vision. Surround yourself with those who see greatness in you, even on the days when you cannot see it yourself. Do not mistake mere company for a mastermind. There is no power in a group whose members pull in different directions. The mastermind is harmony, a single rhythm, a single heartbeat, a single aim. Find it, join it, contribute to it, and it will carry you farther than you could ever travel alone. Principle 6, Relentless Action. Now, my friends, there is a danger in all this talk of purpose and guarding the mind and auto-suggestion and masterminds. The danger is that a man may fill his mind with the most magnificent of plans and yet never take the first step toward their achievement. I tell you plainly, thoughts, no matter how noble, are but dreams until they are made real through action. There are men who spend their lives as architects of castles in the air. Their blueprints are perfect, their designs grand. But no stone is ever laid, and the castles remain forever in the clouds. Do not be such a man. Begin where you stand, with what you have. Take one step, however small, then another and another. You will find that momentum is a strange and wonderful thing. It builds upon itself. The first step may be the hardest, the second a little easier, and by the 10th you will wonder why you did not begin sooner. Do not wait for every condition to be perfect. They never will be. Do not wait for the world's approval. It will not come, not at first. Move forward regardless. Every day you delay, your purpose grows weaker. Every day you act, your purpose grows stronger. And remember this, a mind under your control will not long endure idleness. It will urge you to act. It will whisper, "This is the way, take it." When that voice speaks, obey it. The final test. There will come a day, my friends, when all the noise fades away. When the crowds depart, the applause falls silent, and you are left alone with your own mind. On that day, you will ask yourself but one question. Did I rule my mind, or did my mind rule me? If you can answer truthfully, I was the master of my thoughts, I was the captain of my soul, then you will know a peace that no misfortune can disturb. You will have discovered the truth I have given my life to share. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Guard it, train it, direct it, and never surrender it. For the man who masters his mind masters his world. My friends, we have journeyed together through the great fortress of the mind. We have walked past its gates and learned to post guards. We have entered its throne room and asked the question most men never dare to ask. Who sits upon that throne? We have chosen a ruler, our definite major purpose, and we have pledged our loyalty to it. We have learned to feed the mind only the food of our own choosing through the great weapon of auto-suggestion. We have learned to steady the wheel of our thoughts, guiding them with emotional control when the seas of life grow rough. We have discovered the law of the mastermind, joining our vision with other minds to create a force greater than ourselves. And we have faced the truth that without relentless action, even the noblest thought will remain nothing more than a dream. Now, we come to the final charge. You must understand that the control of your mind is not an event. It is a lifetime's work. It is not won in a single day, nor lost in a single day. It is the sum of the small decisions you make, what to think, what to believe, what to reject, hour by hour, moment by moment. Each morning when you rise, the battle begins anew. The enemies you drove out yesterday will return today, testing the strength of your gates, searching for weakness in your walls. If you are careless, if you grow complacent, if you forget that the mind left unguided will revert to the path of least resistance, you will find that the throne has been taken from you and the crown placed upon the head of fear once more. Therefore, I say to you, be vigilant. The world will tempt you with distractions. It will invite you to trade your vision for comfort, your purpose for ease, your destiny for the false security of the familiar. Do not accept that bargain. When fear whispers, "This is too much for you," answer it, "Nothing is too much for the mind that I control." When doubt asks, "What if you fail?" answer it, "Then I will rise and try again, for I am the master, not the servant." When the voices of the small-minded say, "Be realistic, settle for less," look them in the eye and say, "I will not shrink my purpose to fit your vision. I will expand my vision to fit my purpose." The man who rules his mind rules his fate. He is not swayed by the storms of circumstance, for he knows that storms pass. He is not broken by the blows of misfortune, for he understands that every blow can be forged into a tool for victory. He is not seduced by the easy road, for he has fixed his eyes upon the destination, and every step is taken with that end in view. And when his day is done, when he sits alone in the quiet of his own thoughts, he will know that he has lived not as a prisoner, but as a king. So I leave you with this charge: guard your mind, as you would guard the gates of a city under siege. Feed it, as you would feed a child you hope to see grow strong. Train it, as you would train a soldier preparing for battle. And direct it, as you would direct a ship through treacherous waters. Do this, and you will discover that there is no limit to what you may achieve. For remember always, and let these words be etched upon the walls of your mind, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And I say to you, my friends, conceive greatly, believe deeply, and act relentlessly. For the world has no choice but to yield to a mind under your control. Picture yourself years from now, an older version of you, sitting in a quiet room, thinking back on the life you have lived. What will you remember? Will it be the risks you didn't take, the dreams you abandoned, the moments when you let fear tell you no? Or will it be the times you stood your ground, when you pushed forward despite uncertainty, when you kept your mind fixed on the goal until it became reality? My friends, that older self will either thank you or condemn you, and the deciding factor will not be luck, nor talent, nor the favor of others. It will be whether or not you ruled your mind. Do not think this path will be easy. There will be days when you feel outnumbered, when your own thoughts will turn against you, when the results will seem far away and the effort endless. In those moments, remember this: every man who has achieved greatness walked through that same valley. What set him apart was not the absence of struggle, but the refusal to let struggle dictate his thoughts. You too will have such days. On those days, do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, ask, "How shall I think about this in a way that serves my purpose?" The man who rules his mind rules his fate. He is not swayed by the storms of circumstance, for he knows that storms pass. He is not broken by the blows of misfortune, for he understands that every blow can be forged into a tool for victory. He is not seduced by the easy road, for he has fixed his eyes upon the destination, and every step is taken with that end in view. And when his day is done, when he sits alone in the quiet of his own thoughts, he will know that he has lived not as a prisoner, but as a king. So I leave you with this charge: guard your mind, as you would guard the gates of a city under siege. Feed it, as you would feed a child you hope to see grow strong. Train it, as you would train a soldier preparing for battle. And direct it, as you would direct a ship through treacherous waters. Do this, and you will discover that there is no limit to what you may achieve. For remember always, and let these words be etched upon the walls of your mind: whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And I say to you, my friends, conceive greatly, believe deeply, and act relentlessly. For the world has no choice but to yield to a mind under your control.